Horan.
Sir, I take a call on vote social development. Recognising our country's greatest strength as our people, I draw your attention to the more than 600,000 New Zealanders over the age of 65, almost 15% of our population and rapidly growing. Someone once said, judge a society on how it treats its most vulnerable. By that standard, New Zealand is failing its seniors. While everyone wants to believe all New Zealanders are guaranteed security in retirement and that the needs of seniors are well catered for, the reality could not be more different. The inconvenient truth of the matter is that many seniors live in squalor and despair, feel they are a burden on their families and tend to withdraw from society rather than seek help. The consequence is social isolation, malnourishment, and at the extreme end, suicide. When we talk about suicide, we often refer to the high rate of young people taking their lives, but the stats paint an equally disturbing picture for our seniors. Last year, the Chief Coroner warned that New Zealand men aged 85 or older committed suicide at a rate of 31 per 100,000. Words cannot convey the deep sense of tragedy that is inherent in those figures. So what can we do about it? First, let's change the culture. Let's challenge the stereotypes and the prejudices. Older New Zealanders deserve the love and respect of society as a whole. We should all embrace the seniors in our lives, be they family members, neighbours or friends. These people built our country. They have worked hard, paid taxes, raised children, raised grandchildren and enriched our society in so many ways. Second, we need public policy that reflects this. Policy that recognises and values the contributions that our seniors have made. Policy that encourages seniors to remain active participants in our society. Life does not end at retirement. Crucially, we must put an end to political parties using seniors as a political football. We in the NZ Independent Coalition, sir, expect cross-party consensus on superannuation and senior care policy. We're fed up with our seniors being taken for granted by cynical political leaders who have used them only as votes. The NZ Independent Coalition takes senior concerns seriously and are prepared to walk the talk. Action is what matters. Over the years, there has been no significant increase in the amount of money in the pockets of older people, and that must change. How can we expect seniors to live on $276 per week? Many are eating every other day, cannot afford to go to the doctor, not had any new clothes in years, and holidays are a thing of the past. We are told by government officials that reasonable living requires $46,000 for a single person. A senior living on New Zealand superannuation is expected to live on under $22,000 a year gross. The small things in life are often those which bring the most joy, but many are struggling to afford even those. For example, pets. Pets serve as an important source of social and emotional support. And yet, it is a joy that is denied for many elderly who simply cannot afford to pay the vet bills or the food. The NZ Independent Coalition will adopt a policy of vet subsidies for seniors. If we are serious about improving the quality of life for senior New Zealanders, then this is a small but powerful gesture towards doing just that. We hear the continual cry that New Zealand cannot afford to go any higher in payments to older people. And those parties degrade our seniors further by stating that they are a burden that has to be carried and force them to plead for help from WINS. This intolerable situation cannot be allowed to continue. The NZ Independent Coalition will pursue the implementation of a financial transaction tax similar to that which has been adopted by 11 countries in the European Union, led by France and Germany. Revenue from an FTT of just 0.1% would collect over $6 billion a year from the transactions through the New Zealand banking system and $3.5 billion in extra revenue from New Zealand's foreign exchange system. Sir, according to a Reserve Bank survey released today, New Zealand's foreign exchange market handled an average of $12.4 billion US per day in April of 2013, currently not taxed a single cent. An FTT on these traders would produce a significant source of funding that would not only support a living pension and living wage, But, Mr Chair,
the member has been allocated one speech in this debate, and that speech has now taken place. So the member doesn't get any more calls unless he can negotiate with another party. But at this stage, I'm calling Alfred Naro.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Mr Chair, it's an honour to take a call in this estimates debate.